Hello, my friends. As morning breaks over the agricultural landscape of Australia, farmers begin their day by keeping an eye out for foxes that are roaming around the ground. Although there was not the same level of speed, cruelty, and bloodiness as the fights that took place on the steppe, there was a war that would take you by surprise. What are the methods that Australian farmers are using to deal with the thousands of foxes that have become invasive? When it comes to creatures that are destructive and deadly, foxes seem to be the primary protagonists in the stories that farmers tell about their experiences in rural areas of Australia. These animals are not only common predators, but they also pose a significant risk to agricultural production. Foxes are solitary animals who hunt for food when they have the opportunity to do so. They are experts at capturing live prey. Their claws are similar to pincers, and they are particularly adept at seizing prey with pinpoint accuracy. In addition, they have strong teeth that are ready to tear anything apart. The ability to kill their prey in a very short amount of time is therefore possessed by foxes. The area is calm and serene, and there are no indications that it is in danger. Foxes, on the other hand, can infiltrate the farm and attack your animals in a matter of minutes as opposed to hours. Farms that are located in close proximity to wild regions or woods are frequently the targets of fox attacks. There were bite marks all over the chickens' bodies as they lay unmoving on the ground. There was a tragic event that took place yesterday night. Due to the fact that the fox had been hiding in this area for a few nights, the farmers were more than certain that the individual responsible for this commotion was none other than the fox. Not only can foxes pose a threat to one's pets, but they also provide a problem for the social security system. Invading residential areas and considering this to be their territory is something they do. Foxes are now seen in the streets, and they have even been seen entering people's homes in this manner. Previously, they would meander around the woodland forest. In the event that they did not assault anyone in the vicinity, it would not be worthwhile to discuss it. The attack was really harsh, and the situation was completely chaotic. A woman confronted the aggressive behavior of the fox. You can see that she made an effort to steer clear of it, but it did not appear to be willing to release her. Despite the fact that she was fortunate enough to live, she continues to face physical and psychological repercussions on a daily basis. A sensation of both terror and anguish is what it is. The utilization of traps as a means of controlling fox populations is a significant measure for the agricultural sector in Australia. Traps such as these are not only extremely efficient, but they are also straightforward, quick to employ, and most importantly, they may be utilized multiple times to put the approach into action. Depending on the size and weight of the fox, there are several different kinds of traps that can be used. To begin, farmers will meticulously assemble the necessary equipment, including ropes, traps, and bait. The method of laying traps is straightforward, but it requires that you exercise caution and strategy. For the purpose of maximizing their capacity to capture foxes, farmers need to select trap placements that are appropriate. In most cases, it occurs along paths that are often traveled by foxes. Farmers in Australia have been able to achieve considerable results in decreasing fox populations by laying traps 2 to 3 times each week. According to research conducted by the Australian government, the number of foxes has reduced by approximately 30% over the course of the past 5 years, primarily as a result of the deployment of traps. As a result, it is possible to assert that traps are an intelligent solution up to this point, not only because they reduce the number of foxes, but also because they successfully safeguard the environment in which agriculture takes place. On the other hand, the procedure of eradicating this invasive species of fox necessitates paying attention to and adhering to a set of principles when the fox is being trapped. In order to verify that the trap is functioning appropriately and is not causing harm to either humans or other animals, farmers are required to examine it on a frequent basis. Alongside the practice of trapping, hunting is another approach that is often used by farmers in Australia. At the beginning of the fight to safeguard crops, the shots were fired. The hunting of foxes is not only a recreational sport for farmers, but it is also an important technique for regulating the populations of foxes. This is especially true in regions such as agricultural regions in New South Wales and Victoria, where foxes frequently cause damage to local farms. It is indisputable that foxes are an integral component of the ecology that exists in Australia. However, If the situation is not immediately addressed, a sudden increase in the number of foxes might represent a significant risk to the food chain due to the decreased quantity of cattle. In addition to this, it will have an impact on the food supply that is available to other predators. An unexpected rise in the number of foxes in a given area can put a significant amount of strain on the surrounding ecosystem, disrupting the ecological equilibrium and the biosphere. The presence of a large number of foxes might present difficulties for wildlife management organizations, particularly when it comes to the implementation of control measures to safeguard farmers and the environment. All of these negative consequences together present a significant obstacle for farmers in Australia, and as a result, they are required to implement fox management strategies that are both inventive and successful. The farmer was waiting in the field behind the heap of hay that was sitting there. The fox was promptly put to death by the shot. After approximately an hour, this is the outcome that we got. With the ability to actively follow the fox's tracks and even locate their dens, many farmers prefer to hunt rather than lay traps and wait passively. This is because hunting allows them to actively control the situation. In addition, you can see that this option is practical because it allows farmers to prepare higher quantities of food in a shorter amount of time. You are aware that foxes are omnivores. They are able to consume all of your crops and cattle. The attempts that have been made to avoid fox overgrowth have been met with a significant obstacle due to the variety of food sources. They are capable of hunting a wide range of prey, including birds, mice, and rabbits, among other things. The complexity of control is also increased as a result of this. There is a possibility that foxes will try their luck with adult sheep and even adult cows if they are given the opportunity. As a matter of fact, a study conducted in Wales discovered that sheep constitute an essential source of food for foxes throughout the summer months. This is the reason why sheep farmers in Australia are constantly looking for new techniques to get rid of foxes in the regions where their animals graze. For the sake of protecting their farms, farmers will organize hunting, particularly during the season in which sheep are breeding. The vehicle was getting closer to the edge of the woodland, which was a common place for foxes to be seen. Individuals that are hunting while holding their hunting gear in their hands. During the night, a thrilling hunt begins. Towards the fence that surrounds the farm and the fields, they make their way. They have been emulating. They are enticed to come to this location by the fox's howls. When there was an attempt to entice it, a fox showed up. When it comes to nighttime hunting outings, this strategy is extremely effective. Hunters need to be able to move around freely in a variety of conditions in order to be successful when hunting in natural areas and woodlands. They must be in excellent health if they carry firearms everywhere that foxes are known to frequent. It took them several hours of stalking and hiding before they were able to kill the fox. It is only after night falls that the fox's eyesight begins to deteriorate, which allows them to avoid staying hidden. But as you can see, hunting at night is not an easy task either. Their efforts resulted in outcomes that were unexpected. The number of foxes that they killed in a single night is as follows. Farmers in Australia are putting themselves at risk of suffering significant financial and psychological losses with every step they take during the night. Not only do attacks on foxes result in the loss of hundreds or even thousands of cattle for farmers, but they also raise concerns about the safety of individuals and the stability of communities located in rural areas. On the other hand, it is clear that when confronted with a significant obstacle, farmers in Australia do not hesitate. They have developed one-of-a-kind measures in order to save their farmlands. The beginning of a lengthy day for a farmer is made up of meticulous observation. On top of the container was a base that was utilized for the purpose of hunting foxes. While he was getting up there, he was looking off into the corner of his eye. Farmers are concerned about missing any activity that may occur in the fields. They need to be able to identify the initial indications that foxes are present. This war will continue each and every day until this invasive species is eradicated. Clearly, foxes are among the most intelligent and mysterious wild animals. And now are some intriguing facts about them, from their unique hunting techniques to their special adaptations. Foxes can hear their prey moving underground. Foxes possess an incredibly sharp sense of hearing, which allows them to detect the movement of prey even when it is buried beneath snow or soil. This is especially evident in red foxes, which have a distinctive hunting technique. They leap high into the air and pounce precisely on their hidden prey. Unlike wolves, which live in large packs, or stray cats, which prefer complete solitude, foxes have a rather unique social structure. Some species, like the red fox, may live alone most of the time, but can form small family groups, especially during the breeding season. Besides, Arctic foxes change their fur color depending on the season. The Arctic fox, Vulpes lagopus, has a remarkable adaptation to extreme climates. In winter, their fur turns pure white, allowing them to blend seamlessly with the snowy environment. When summer arrives, their coats change to brown or gray to match the rocky and tundra landscape. Especially, studies show that foxes are quick learners with impressive memory skills. They can remember locations with abundant food supplies and return to these places even after a long time. Additionally, foxes are capable of adapting their hunting strategies depending on their environment and circumstances. Unlike dogs or cats, foxes have a diverse range of vocalizations. They can produce more than 40 distinct sounds for communication. One of the most striking is their eerie scream, which resembles a human cry and is commonly heard during mating season. Moreover, foxes have thick fur on their paws and flexible toes, which enable them to move stealthily. This adaptation helps them hunt more effectively without alerting their prey. Finally, foxes are among the most widely distributed land mammals, thriving in diverse habitats such as forests, deserts, grasslands, and even icy Arctic regions. The red fox, in particular, is the most widespread species and can be found on almost every continent except Antarctica.